is the strongest faction currently in the Warhammer 40K verse? The Warhammer 40K verse is a sprawling tableau of conflict, intrigue, and cosmic machination. With countless factions locked in an eternal struggle for survival, power, and dominance, the question who is the strongest faction in the universe often arises among enthusiasts and scholars alike. Each faction embodies unique strengths, weaknesses, and philosophies that shape their approach to war and survival, making the notion of strength multifaceted and subject to interpretation. The Imperium of Man is arguably the most vast and diverse empire in the galaxy. Spanning millions of worlds, it relies on sheer numbers, resilience, and unyielding faith in the God Emperor. The Imperium incorporates legions of space marines, superhuman warriors genetically engineered to be ultimate soldiers, alongside countless regiments of Astra Militarum and the fanatical zealotry of the Inquisition. It is a faction marked by paradox, a society technologically advanced yet mired in superstition and decay. The Imperium's strength lies not just in its military might, but in its ability to survive through vast bureaucracy and unwavering zeal. The Emperor's control may have weakened, but his influence still fuels the Imperial war machine. The phrase heroism in the face of despair is often embodied by the Imperium, reflecting a resilience that can outlast even the most devastating threats. Opposing humanity's dominance are the Tyranids, a terrifying alien hive mind species composed of countless creatures genetically adapted to consume all organic matter. Where the Imperium relies on numbers and faith, the Tyranids depend on evolution and sheer biological terror. They lack individual will, instead acting as a single organism with a central hive mind directing every assault. The hive fleet's adaptive strategy enables rapid biological adjustments in combat, making conventional tactics often obsolete against them. Their ravenous hunger pushes them to consume entire planets, stripping resources until nothing remains. Strength here manifests as overwhelming and relentless consumption, a force of nature that rivals the very existence of other civilizations. In stark contrast to the Tyranids are the Eldar, an ancient and enigmatic race whose technological and psychic prowess are unmatched. The Eldar's strength lies in their advanced technology, speed, and precision, often fighting with an elegance that contrasts with the brutish nature of other factions. They are also closely tied with the warp in complex ways, which grants them immense psychic abilities, but also leaves them vulnerable to corruption. The fall of their ancient civilization still haunts them, yet their survival depends on their cunning and mastery of subtle warfare and manipulation. Among the Eldar are the Drukhari or Dark Eldar, whose strength is found in guerrilla warfare, swift raids, and psychological terror, exploiting fear and chaos to dominate their victims. Their sadistic practices and advanced technology make them deadly predators in the shadows. Orks represent one of the most unique factions, a brutal and anarchic race driven by a lust for war and a crude but effective technology powered by sheer belief. Orks thrive on conflict and have an inherent ability to just make things work, through a combination of instinctual engineering and massive numbers. Their strength does not lie in subtlety or sophisticated tactics, but in overwhelming aggression, incessant movement, and a cultural bloodlust that never sates. Orks also possess a psychic field known as the War, which can bolster their combat effectiveness, causing their crude weapons and machinery to function beyond all expectations. Despite their primal nature, Orks are surprisingly adaptable and can reorganize quickly after defeats, regenerating the cycle of warfare continually. Chaos composed of corrupted beings and demonic entities tied to the Warp's malevolent powers stand as a symbol of twisted strength that defies conventional understanding. Loyalty to the four Chaos gods, Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh, grants Chaos warriors and demons extraordinary powers at the cost of their sanity and humanity. Their strength is multidimensional, combining martial prowess with arcane powers and the ability to corrupt and manipulate others. Chaos forces are not uniform, they represent the raw chaos of the universe itself, a force of unrelenting change and destruction. They often gain strength through corruption and subversion, undermining their enemies from within as much as on the battlefield. The ideology of chaos is not just war, it is transformation and devotion to the dark forces that shape fate itself. The Necrons present a fascinating study in endurance and technological sophistication. Once a living race, they transferred their consciousness into mechanical bodies, granting them near invulnerability and near immortality. Their strength lies in their ancient technology, advanced energy weaponry, and the resurrection protocols that allow fallen warriors to reanimate immediately. The Necrons are cold, calculating, and often indifferent to the petty struggles of other factions, pursuing cryptic agendas rooted in long-forgotten motives. Their ability to recover from seemingly total defeat through their unique form of deathlessness makes them a relentless force, feared for their endurance and precision in warfare. The Tau are the youngest of the major factions, representing a vision of progress and unity built around the concept of the greater good. Their strength is grounded in advanced technology, disciplined military doctrine, and striking ranged combat capabilities. The Tau excel at coordinated strikes employing highly mobile battlesuits, drones, and futuristic weaponry. Unlike most other factions motivated by religion, conquest, or survival, the Tau strive to expand their sphere diplomatically as well, favouring alliances where possible. Their relative newness in the galaxy, however, makes them vulnerable to more older, experienced foes and internal ideological conflict. Evaluating who is truly the strongest faction depends heavily on the metrics chosen, be it raw destructive power, resilience, adaptability, or influence over the galaxy. The Imperium's vastness and tenacity arguably provide unparalleled staying power in a universe defined by endless war and decay. However, the Tyranids' biological superiority and endless hunger offer a form of strength, not measured by population or technology, but by an insatiable drive to consume and adapt. The Eldar, with their wisdom and advanced psychic prowess, and the Drukhari's ruthless efficiency, display an elegance and lethality, warning other factions of the consequences of underestimating them. Orks may lack subtlety, but their unbreakable cultural drive to wage war forever is a kind of strength that no opponent can truly extinguish. Chaos, meanwhile, thrives in the shadow of this universal conflict, transforming and twisting reality itself, a metaphysical strength beyond mere weapons or numbers. The Necron, with their unfathomable longevity and pristine technology, provide a ghostly reminder that even death is not the end in this setting. Finally, the Tau embody the hope for a more orderly future, dispelling some of the darkness with technology and unity, though their relative youth keeps them from matching the experience of their rivals. In conclusion, declaring one faction as the unequivocal strongest is a daunting task, if not impossible. The Warhammer 40K galaxy is designed precisely to ensure no single power dominates indefinitely, encouraging constant conflict and balance among them. Each faction introduces unique dimensions of strength, whether it's the Imperium's sprawling empire, the Tyranids' biological veracity, the Eldar's ancient psychic mastery, the Orks' unceasing warlike nature, Chaos's dark metamorphosis, the Necrons' immortal precision, the Tau's technological advancement, or the Drukhari's merciless raiding. The interplay among these factions fuels an eternal saga where strength is much about adaptability, tenacity, and resolve as it is about firepower or numbers. Ultimately, the strongest faction may be the one that can endure and evolve most effectively. As the future of Warhammer 40K is, like the history, an unending cycle of war, sacrifice, and survival. For fans and observers, this is what gives the Warhammer 40K verse its enduring appeal, a galaxy where strength is complex, contested, and forever on the brink of change. This archive has now been fully decoded. Continue your journey into the librarian with the video displayed on screen. The vast wealth of the archives continues to reveal new knowledge of the dark history of the 40K verse. In the grim dark of the far future, there is only war.